hasn't started. Also, I'll do the intro.
Frank.
You're good.
Nice, Frank.
Hello, ladies and... Wait a second. Is anything actually running? Supposed to be going on right now. Let me refresh. Oh, there we go. It is live. Good. Hello, everybody. My name is Army Overlord, and welcome to the Have Faith Esports Weekend 1 between Katarina, Wine Mixers, and D-k9, followed by my casting. It'll also be...
Me, I'm FT Bunny. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty fantastic here. I heard recently there is a little bit of an update that happened not too long ago about the rune page upgrade. Now everybody can basically buy whatever rune pages they want, you know? It's awesome.
I'm absolutely excited to grab me some energy regen runes for only 10 IP.
You sound like you could really use them. Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen here, this is going to be the first game of the Saturday night. Let's see how everything goes, as these two teams I've seen in the past, and I'm very excited to see which one will come out on top here.
As am I. Katarina Wine Mixers looking to drag their first win tonight, as they have played in the past versus Have Faith Academy, and D-k9 looking to get a strong start coming out for their first game.
Indeed. We go right into this very first game of the weekend here. D-k9, I've seen them. I've watched them play. They really managed to do very good during the Monday game. They were very hard to beat, and they definitely had a very good stride about them.
So I go.
Joker Noter, of all people, actually managed to look the most impressive out there from what he was starting off with. Had a bit of a rough start here, but managed to secure the Baron, and not only that, but also make a dominating performance here. So he's looking like one of the hot players going into this matchup. But remaining as the other hot players into this as well is Lit, as well as Freddy. Those two guys are just absolutely on fire, and D-k9 wants to continue that domination streak. So it's going to be real exciting to see who is going to be able to continue their high performance, high octane action. Because honestly, these guys are ready to burst, and they're going to do a lot of damage when they do so. Speaking of which, they decided to get rid of a few tanks, in fact. Probably to make it easier to burst people.
Yeah, getting rid of Shen and Cho'Gath, both, Cho'Gath being considerably stronger than Shen, but both can end up being problems for the AD carry in the end.
Indeed. Speaking of which, it looks like on the opposite side here, LeBlanc and Gnar have been taken off the board, and it looks like Malzahar is also taken off the board. I don't know if Nucking had any hopes of playing Malzahar here, but they most definitely have been dashed.
Yeah, Gnar is definitely one of Springfield's flagship champions, and taking that away from D-k9 was definitely a smart decision on the side of the Wine Mixers.
Cassiopeia has also been taken away as well. It looks like Springfield's going to secure the Sejuani right off the bat. I think it's a good call.
And locking down a good set of engage, depending on what comp they go with this, though, hopefully they're going to be able to pick up the champions they need to back her up before Katarina Wine Mixers can snag them in this draft.
Indeed. I would definitely suspect Sejuani to be the kind of champion you can really get a lot around. Like a lot of good champions you can kind of build around a Sejuani. And D-k9, they kind of happen to really like their engages. So I would expect something pretty nice coming up pretty soon for them. In response, it looks like they got themselves a Trundle to try to take away the tankiness of the Sejuani, and a Gragas to probably set up some good plays. Meanwhile, it looks like Fiora has been immediately selected, possibly going to go to that Springfield, which I have seen before. Fiora's a dangerous champion to have in Springfield's hands.
Once again, they have a major issue where Springfield's champion pool is just so large that trying to ban him out or trying to keep him down as far as picks go is just going to be incredibly difficult. So really the only way that they're going to be able to stop him is to take him out in-game.
Indeed. Speaking of which, Talia seems to be the immediate response. A lot of Freddy's performance so far has been around the Talia. Last time I saw him play Talia, absolutely dominating performance and just completely stole the MVP opportunity away from Lit, who did a very excellent job in Game 2. Very much expecting Freddy to continue his dominating performance as Talia. But it looks like Ari is going to be the answer to this Talia situation. So let's see how that will work out for Nucking.
Now, depending on how Ari actually plays this matchup, I think it very easily can be in her favor because
we must all
Talia she'll use her skill, despite her E being an issue for Ari's ultimate. She shouldn't have to get that close to take her out. So with the charm, with the Q, and then even if Gragas shows up, they should easily be able to take out Talia because she doesn't have any major escapes as a Flash and Ghost.
Right. Looks like Kog'Maw has been taken off the board, and so is Tristana. Looks like they're trying to get Lex away from a very powerful late game carry option. Looks like in response they've decided to get rid of Crystal's possible favorite AD carry, perhaps? Looks like Teemo is about to be hovered, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna be pretty exciting to see if Teemo is actually going to be played in this competitive series. He is a marksman. He's got the range, he's got the damage, he's got the abilities, but it's gonna be Sivir, actually. As I have been trolled yet again.
One day we're gonna see that Teemo AD carry, I believe.
I believe as well. I believe Teemo happens to be the best anti-marksman. Lit, very interesting decision here. Lit is going to be taking Kalista into the bot lane to go up against the Sivir. Meanwhile, Win Moon Film, who is definitely a brand new player onto the roster of D-k9, is going to see what he can give to Lit, and it most definitely going to be an Alistar. Lots of CC, lots of re-engage, double engage, triple engage, engage on the engage action, and I would expect a lot of awesome things coming from that Alistar, and especially when you got yourself a Kalista. Meanwhile, to oppose this, a Morgana to cancel out the opportunity. Sivir's got a spell shield. Morgana's got her own spell shield. That's going to cancel a lot of engaging opportunities, I'd say. Interesting, after they got like 3 engages.
Katarina One is actually drafted insanely well against us because they had 2 options going into this champion select when they saw the Sejuani pick. They could either try and take their options away from them, or just build a comp that would basically nullify their hard engage. And that's exactly what they did. They picked Gragas, they picked Ari, they picked Sivir, they picked Morgana. Even the Trundle with the Pillar, they all have ways that they can disengage and then also flip and counter engage with the Sivir ult, the Ari ult, and then the Morgvine. So they really did pick a really strong composition against that hard engage.
Right, and they also happen to have a great way to be able to just capitalize on misplays as well here. So the D-k9 is going to be really tested for the first time in that regard. Just mistake here or misplay here, even a misstep here. Morgana makes the catch, Ari makes the catch, Trundle uses the pillar to make the position a lot less optimal for them. And I think based off of that, D-k9 will end up having to really think about what they're going to do on these engages. So it's going to be a really rough match for them, but at the same time, I do see things going in the D-k9 favor here. They happen to have themselves a lot of ways to get some good damage in. Quick pokes, quick engages. If they can make some really nice plays early, get some really early game advantage, despite the fact that they can make disengages, I think D-k9 can really outpower their opponent here. Although, I think the answer is going to come through Talia, so if Talia doesn't really do a really good job here, the only alternative option here, I'd say, would be Fiora. I don't know, maybe I just have a bias against Kalista, but I just like Fiora and Talia as a mid to late game champion than I do with the Kalista. Maybe I just haven't seen a good performance with it yet. Maybe I will see something pretty interesting in the future.
Callista is gonna get put in the perfect position to do what she did to really go off in a team fight. Now that's only if Morgana, Gragas, and Ari all happen to miss their stuff. The chance of that happening is very slim, but if for some reason it does happen, then Callista is basically uncontested to do free damage. And that's going to be
true.
a scary situation because Gragas can't really get out and neither can Trundle. But I think this game is can very much be decided through mid lane because Ari and Talia both have a really strong roaming potential. And if either team's top lane gets snowballed, that's going to spell a nightmare for bot lane because Fiora is not fun to deal with and neither is Trundle.
Another thing I like to point out as well is Talia and Ari are very similar in a certain way when it comes to making aggressive plays. Ari's Q and E and W are all made to hit a single target, and the same thing could be said with Talia as well. They're kind of made to really force themselves to a straight line battle. And I feel like if certain conditions go a certain way, I think Talia will come out on top because of that. Talia's consistent Q damage really, I feel, overpowers the damage Ari can do in the early stages. You know, right around level 6 is where I expect these two to really get at each other for some good damage. And it's going to be very fun to watch.
And on top of that, as I mentioned earlier, Talia's E actually will damage Ari if she dashes over it.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
something that she has to be careful of when fighting her is to stay around that giant cone while also making sure she's not going to get with anything else. So it's going to be an uphill battle.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going right into the champions selection screen, or in this case, the minor break in between the beginning of the game and where every one of the other champions are. Let's take a look at who's got the level 7, who's got level 5, who hasn't even gotten a level 5. We take a look real quick. We find out that Sivir, Morgana, Ari, and Gragas have all taken champion with a little bit of just enough experience to get passable in that regard. Meanwhile, with 2 level 7s in the bot lane versus the level 6 and level 5, it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup to see what Crystal and Wookieheart is going to make happen. Or Wookieheart. That's going to be tough for me to say. Wonk? I'm going to go Wonk.
Okay.
Anyway, Fiora and the top spot here with the level 5 here, Springfield, I'm actually kind of shocked. I thought he would have gotten level 7 by now with him, with how good Fiora is, how good his Fiora is. Really surprised. Probably because he most likely is being told not to play Fiora in those situations. But hey, I don't know enough about it to confirm anything, really. Truth be told here, I would expect at this stage some good old-fashioned level 4, several level action here. But, point being, it is what it is, so...
Do we see honor levels? Because I don't think I saw any honor levels.
In fact, we are going to see that momentarily. But until then, let's see what... actually, you're right. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out after the game, because I'm pretty sure you can honor somebody after this. After the game is completed, I think. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong. Anyway, in the audience is what I'm really curious about at this stage here, because what I really, really want to know is who in the audience can tell me, does Talia beat Ari, or does Ari beat Talia? Is this a skill-based matchup? And can Freddy prove that Talia is the better opponent against Ari?
It's a real toss-up.
Mm-hmm.
Those between those two.
I agree. And I want to know what the audience thinks about it, to be honest. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe we're both wrong here. Let's find out as soon as possible. Right away.
It doesn't look like either team's really going to invade, because an invade wouldn't be incredibly optimal I mean, they have a Gragas, they have a Sejuani. Their clears are both pretty good, but if they get hit a little bit too much, then they could be in a decent amount of trouble.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I am also pretty curious about here is MJ Letty. Like that you're watching the show, man. Really appreciate that. It looks like you might be right, though. Level 6, according to him, says Talia will win. But after that, it's just a skill-based matchup. So let's see if that is completely true. Or maybe the skill-based matchup might be right away. Nucking is going to have a very difficult time. So eyes are going to be really on this mid lane, I'd say, to make happen. Because I don't expect Morgana and Sivir to really allow themselves to be caught here. I also expect a lot of fighting as well coming from the top side. I don't expect anything at the bot side from what I'm looking at. But I feel mid is definitely going to be where the focus is for the victory of this game.
Top lane's going to be, I'd say, a decent stalemate for a while, because both are pretty sure both of them are going to be rushing towards trying to get a Tiamat. So they're both trying to push as much of the wave as possible so they can go do things elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's Ari
Charm.
with the first charm.
Yep, looks like Charm lands here. Good damage so far. Nothing serious on either side, but one is definitely trying to get the upper hand on the other. Seems like some damage here is being traded between both sides here. Crystal... Ooh, did not time the spell shield on that one. Looked like just kind of misread how that was going to happen. Kalista is going to get some good damage back onto the Sivir again here. Man, this is really close.
Sivir needs to be careful, because if Kalista lines up a creep and then Qs through and gets a bunch of stacks inside of Sivir, then she could be in trouble, because that's hard to react to.
Oh, very. Lit is definitely, might even try such a thing. Morgana lands the Q, though. So I guess maybe doesn't want to try it right off the bat. Gonna wait for Sivir to misplay, I would assume. Anyway, it looks like Trundle is trying to play passively, trying to just collect as much farm as possible to keep up with the Fiora, who's heavily trying to shove the Trundle back. Uh-oh, looks like right off the bat, an engage. Ooh, Trundle gets out of there. Very close.
He does vary in his slash just by showing top, which is not going to be fortunate for Trundle in case Fiora does decide to go aggressive onto him.
Mm-hmm. The situation so far seems to be exactly where DK wants it right now. They're already shoving back the bot lane. Talia has the farm advantage. Fiora has the farm advantage as well, and already has Trundle on at near half health. So DK's really got that at the situation right where they need it. So at this point, I think it comes down to mistakes early, and maybe misplays.
And we can expect to see Joker top lane a lot, because they have a history of putting Springfield on tanks, and they put him on a carry, and which means they're most likely looking to try and snowball him and get him to do something pretty serious late game. So it's ideal that you're gonna see Joker's top lane a lot to try and snowball him.
Springfield almost had an opportunity for the kill, but it looks like a proc wasn't gonna come around for him. But Trundle's gonna give it another go. He's going to fight Springfield, and it looks like Joker's right here for a security, but it doesn't seem to matter here because Fiora will easily scoop up the kill on Trundle.
That's really not what Blind Mixes wants to happen, because like I said, the first one to get the Tiamat pushes the wave way faster, and then he can leave as quickly as possible. But alas, if they put efforts into another lane and make it difficult for Springfield to go and stop those lanes from snowballing, then they should be in good shape.
Indeed. Speaking of that, it looks like the fight between the two bot laners is still being pressure versus pressure, and Kalista's getting the upper hand on said pressure right off the bat. Right now, Morgana seems to be spamming the spell shield, trying to give Sivir a little bit more comfort in the lane here, but it might have just made a big misplay. Crystal's on the run here. Ignite has been used, and Lit has managed to secure it with the spear right to the back of that Sivir. Probably the least likely spot for a mercenary to expect the damage to be coming from, but hey, Sivir is going to have to learn the hard way to be very careful.
On top of all that D-k9 burnt there, they also burnt exhaust from Morgana. So if Callista gets back and then is able to pick up her next item, they're going to be able to fight them right off the bat again, because they have the majority of their summoners aside from Ignite, and Sivir has no flash or heal.
Uh-oh, Freddy really likes it. He's going to grab a quick kill with the Ahri. No longer having TP after that one. Now Talia's in the right spot here. This is exactly what D-k9 is looking for. This is looking exactly the way they need it to go.
That's 3 kills from all 3 lanes without Joker having to lift a finger. So he can just sit and farm as much as he needs to get as much gold as he can for his next gank.
Mm-hmm. And truth be told, really good job so far out of each one of the lanes so far. They're just getting exactly what they needed, when they need it, where they need it, and why they need it. I also like so far what Freddy is doing in the mid lane so far. He's really controlling the waves here. So despite the TP advantage Ahri had, it doesn't seem to matter. Speaking of it doesn't seem to matter, it's going to be Springfield putting it all on the line here. But Lord, in the nick of time, gets his ult timed very well. Springfield lost all the ground he just stole right away. And manages, Lord will live, and Springfield will have to have another go at that, or maybe not. He's gonna go back.
I like what Freddy's building right now, because he rushed the Merc Treads, and he also got the Dark Seal, and he's playing a little bit of a slow game mid lane as far as his build, because he's making sure he's going to be safe.
Ooh, well, you know, that's the thing. Some people can play safe, some people can't. Well, you got an Alistar on the other side here. No matter how many Morgana shields you can get, the second that drops or isn't ready up and ready, more Alistar's going to jump right at that opportunity. Oh, no! Nucking has once again fallen into the trap placed by Freddy, who's having a very easy time setting up those EWs.
You see Gragas go top trying to abuse Fiora's lack of flash, but she just was able to parry that body slam, so he didn't really get much done up there.
Mm-hmm. Lord's having a bit of a struggle so far at the top side here, but is still keeping this a good fight.
Trundle's gonna be
until the cavalry arrives. Here comes Joker. They're going to try to cut him off. Ult lands. Damage is going to come through. The wall actually doesn't seem to matter that much because they jump right through it. But meanwhile, Trundle will go ahead and get himself freed thanks to Jaguar, who uses the ultimate to save the comrade here. Sorry, everybody. I'm a little behind than what happened there. My fault, really.
Gragas was smart to stay near top lane after he realized.
Here we go. Lit really likes his chance here. I don't know how much he thinks he's got. Oh, boy. Here comes Wind to the rescue. The spell shield will end up landing onto Sivir. The CC has landed. Sivir is not going to be able to get the auto off in time. Lit is actually going to continue his dominating performance. Speaking of that, Springfield tries to get one more proc. It's not going to happen either. Nucking is beginning to head towards bot side to clear a control ward, but is about to run right into the rock monster known as Talia. Meanwhile, Jaguar is having a small fight with Joker in the top lane. Joker does have the upper hand with the buff advantage, doesn't realize that and know that better than Jaguar has with just a Cinder. He's going to back off and take the flash to make sure Joker does not interrupt that, while Trundle uses the TP at the top side. A lot of things happening there.
And there you see Fiora finishing the golden items, the Tiamat. And Trundle can't really go that now because of his gold deficit, and simply because if he were to go damage at this point, he would be in a pretty bad spot. So he decides to go tank, which is a smart move here, given his current situation.
Agreed, and a Bramble is also a great option as well, and the Ninja Tabby. It's going to make Springfield have a harder time trying to get some basic attack damage in, because that's going to punish while it's going to protect.
Joker
one of the reasons I love about the Bramble. That's just my favorite item.
Joker spent a lot of time topside, and Gragas decided that, oh, I'm just going to go farm some camps, and then I'm going to start getting XP, and there you're seeing the XP advantage.
Oh no, Morgana is going to end up being a free kill thanks to the Alistar, who has just been on point so far with these timing and plays. Morgana just never seems to have exactly what he needs when he needs it. Freddy, here he comes. He was going for the cleanse to try to get Ahri try to get Ari dead yet again, but doesn't seem to get the fortune this time. Meanwhile, you got yourself a Callista Smite, and you have yourself a Sejuani Smite. There's no way you're going to lose that Drake.
Now that the bot lane is pretty much covered, oh, there's a fight going on top.
Yep. Lord still trying to force Springfield. Oh, the riposte misses. Springfield's a bit on the ropes here, but Trundle has no method to make this play a kill. He's going to have to stay under tower and try to get his health back, and maybe try to get something.
To work.
Yep, here comes Ari. Trundle's going to take a proc here. Not enough to do the damage. The pillar, I think, actually managed to make that a little easier. But meanwhile, in the bot lane, Morgana takes a huge ultimate right to the face and goes down immediately. Alistar using his own ultimate to keep himself really tanky. Joker's going to lose a lot of health here. But Sivir with the double procking auto attack. Nice job out of Crystal. Manages to turn the situation around. Gragas now has a red buff here and really looks very intimidating. The E barely misses the Alistar. The slow still hits. Crystal's trying to get one auto. He needs another one. It does work out. The spell shield lands. It's going to be lit going down this time as Crystal grabs himself a kill.
There's what I was saying about the counter engage and the re-engage right there. They got away from the hard engage because Callista flashed. Alistar used everything he had on them, but once they realized, wait, they have nothing else. You see, something clicked in their heads and they just spun around. And the minute they saw that, they just started chasing him down.
A really good job out of their part, realizing the situation and just capitalizing on the misread of their situation here. The second everything clicked into focus, Crystal just looked absolutely dominating, and just now has a 3-3 KD ratio, and that's very good.
The wine mixers now flipped it in that they got 4 kills, 4 clean kills, 1 top and then 3 bottom. And if they keep pulling stuff like that, they're going to be able to easily close that gold gap.
Looks like red buff is the current situation here for Joker. Gonna keep it for himself, not going to give it to the Callista at this time. Not surprised, really. Usually, you want to give the AD carry it around 20 or 30 minutes, so not going to give it early. Interesting. Maybe I'm remembering the wrong game, but I could have sworn Joker gave Lit the red buff right around this time. But hey, it's whatever.
Yeah, he's usually really, he's free, like, usually donates those buffs a lot to his team.
Yeah, he's a very generous guy. Absolutely. Meanwhile, that generosity is probably going to be extremely favorable for Fred. The ult actually barely misses. I can't believe that. That actually was so close. And Joker is going to have to suffer a bit of the ult there from it. Meanwhile, the double spell shield seems to be a little bit poorly timed as Lit actually managed to get the damage to come through easily. Meanwhile, Lord is trying to still get that Tiamat.
Fiora now finishing that Ravenous Hydra, putting her an item ahead of Trundle. Trundle does have the armor boots, but Sivir gonna get completely.
I didn't even get a chance to talk about that.
That
was so fast. I know, that was like 3 seconds, and just 4 autos just was able to completely cut right through. Oh boy, here comes another one. Freddy's gonna go for another kill against Futz as he is trying to get the... No! His damage was so much, but it wasn't enough to turn the tide. Talia once again comes out on top as Freddy continues to show that Talia probably was the better champion against the Ahri.
I actually think Ahri may have been able to escape that, but Talia used a almost perfect cleanse right as the charm hit, making it so she got slowed for a fraction of a second.
Right, and it was so close for Nucking. He almost had an opportunity to just probably get a kill off of the greediness, but Freddy just was prepared, ready, able to make the play. Meanwhile, Lord is trying to show that he still has a presence in this lane, continues to try to fight Springfield, but Springfield really putting a number on that Trundle. It's elegance versus brutality, and it looks like elegance is coming out on top.
And And all things considered, Trundle is actually not as behind in CS as I would expect him to be, given the situation he's been in this game.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, back at the bot lane situation here, Alistar is nowhere to be found. Will they actually make the attempt to try to catch out? No, the Q ends up missing. Crystal is going to try to... Oh, well-timed spell shield that time. Lit is actually on the ropes here, but Sejuani's coming in to try to help out. That bot lane's got to make it... Oh, the minion with the body block protects what Morgana was hoping he could make the catch over.
This is looking like trouble.
Yep.
There's a whole 4 of them coming.
Here we go. Crystal's going to risk it all to try to make the catch here. The CC was way too much to handle. The TP was sadly a little mistimed, as there was no way that bot lane's getting out. Boy, they are just unfortunately unable to take advantage of D-k9's disadvantages at that stage. Really unfortunate.
And D-k9 timed that right at perfect timing, because Dragon is actually coming up in about 2 seconds.
Very good timing indeed. And the next one is an Infernal Drake. Let's see what D-k9's going to do to try to secure this. They
it's not
could...
Gonna be
Yeah, no contest here, I would say. I think you're right.
Yeah.
They have a greater amount of mobility thanks to the situation at hand here. Spear, 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 spear. Yank! There's so many impaling damage that Callista can do.
Now, Katarina is actually now losing control of their own jungle, which is spelling danger for Gygas, who's losing out on basically the entire right side of the map in terms of farm now.
Well, on the plus side, it looks like Trundle should be able to get this before Fiora shows up.
Is he going to give his life for this?
Let's find out. No, wait a minute. He's going to go for it all. He's actually managed to get Springfield to realize, hey, I'm a lot stronger than you think I am. Springfield's on the run here, but Joker to the immediate rescue. Wards off the Trundle.
Trundle absolutely demanding respect.
Oh, Jaguar, unfortunately, thanks to the flash, Freddy will escape from that situation. That would have possibly been a nice free kill for Ari, who really needs it in this situation. Meanwhile, let's go ahead. Boy, I've been saying meanwhile a lot. Let's go ahead and take a look at the money amount, shall we? Would be interesting to see how much money everybody's been making so far here. Looks like Fiora has around a 400 goal lead against the Trundle. Bot lane seems to be about equal with only 100 difference. But meanwhile, oh man, here I go again. Freddy is going to get caught in this situation here. The CC has been landing. Morgana gets the roots, the binds, the spells, but Lit immediately bursts that Morgana and chased after the very tanky Trundle and takes him out along with it. Alt has been able to get the slow. Nucking is now on the run with no mana, and it's a triple kill for the Callista.
Well, that's what Callista wanted to happen. She kind of slipped in between her team and did just massive amounts of damage, and they couldn't really stop her because they'd used everything already.
Hey Pedro, 2K18, welcome to the show, man. It looks like we got about 8 people here so far. Quite glad to get the numbers up a little bit. Would be nice to see what other people have to say and think about this kind of game so far, because it looks like D-k9's got exactly what they were looking for out of this match. Sad thing too, because the comp that their opponent had could disengage and really just stop them from doing all of the work they want to do, but it's all about timing, and D-k9's timing has been absolutely on point so far, and that's why they have so much of a big lead. The people who are on fire are going to keep being on fire so far.
And if the one mixers get a chance this game to actually use their composition to its fullest effect, they might be able to claw their way back into this because of the sheer amount of damage they'll be avoiding from D-k9 if they use their comp to its fullest.
Right, but the problem is we're already looking at an 11k advantage here for D-k9. They already got the inhibitor down. The Baron does seem like a free option for them if they choose to do it. I feel like it is in their best interest to try to put this game out of the hands of their opponent as quick as possible. So I would just say maybe in the next 10 minutes the game's over. Maybe 5.
That's safe to say. Because they can't find a way or come up with a way within the next 2, maybe 3 team fights to stop Actually, they don't even have that long. I'd say if they can't come up with a way in the next team fight to put that Callista in the ground, then they're going to be in huge trouble.
Speaking of huge trouble, thanks to the Trundle being caught out now, it looks like D-k9 is going to take that Baron at the 21-minute mark. The Baron is going to go down rather quickly. 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1 and done. Sejuani confirms it. And now they're forced to huddle in for warmth inside their own base at this time. I would say a 1-3-1 here. What do you think? 1-3-1?
They definitely should. I don't think they really need anybody mid. Oh, it seems to be a pause.
Right, looks like a pause time, possibly AFK. Jaguar is, yep, there it is. Jaguar kind of looked like he was just standing there for a really strange amount of time. So he could have been used to try to steal the Baron if he was there. But unfortunately, he is not. So now it looks like it's going to be a brief pause time. Well, luckily for me, I'm going to be able to take a small break. Going to try to see what I can do to get done as quick as possible so I can get back to the game. But I got to go to the bathroom. Hate to leave you on the wings, Bunny, but thank goodness for the pause. Be right back.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to take a quick look at, in terms of gold gaps, where Katarina and Mixes are in huge trouble. So a good chunk of the lead came from the early kills in all the lanes, and D-k9 basically took that and ran with it as far as they possibly could. Like, if we're looking at Callista, for example, we're looking at a near 4,000 gold gap between the two of them, and even if Sipper isn't super behind in terms of like what seems to be CS, just sheer itemization, Callista's up on her 2-1 and also has completed boots, which is putting, as far as damage goes, they're just putting Katarina 1 Mix at a severe disadvantage, and now they need to take out that Callista in order to guarantee a teamfight victory. And even with that being said, they still have two other threats that are problems to take out. So they have a lot that they have to find a way to deal with in this game right now, and they don't have much time to do it because the side lanes are going to start pushing with Baron.
You're absolutely right with whatever you just said. Hello, everybody. I'm back yet again here, as it looks like the pause is still going.
Does look like it is about to conclude, though, because he did reconnect.
Oh, good news. Okay, let's hope the connection is solid for Jaguar. They do have themselves a decent amount of pause time remaining. With no punishment on the pause time, they can pause as long as they feel it's necessary. Hopefully, it will be a very short one. Because I believe the ruling on the pause is what, 15 minutes, and then what happens?
10 minutes for us, and then if they fail to adhere to the 10 minutes, then it is a forfeited game.
You feel 10 minutes is a bit long. I agree.
Yeah.
10 minutes is a bit long.
Like, if it takes you 10 minutes to go to the bathroom, then you probably shouldn't be playing League.
Fair enough. The game has finally been resumed here, and Gragas appears to be back, but it looks like they're going to be setting up a 4-1-0 strategy and sending everybody to the top side except for Talia to probably create some pressure in the mid lane to keep the pressure mid? No, never mind. It looks like they're sending all 5 top.
Whoa. That's a very smart wall by Talia to stop them from doing any defense at all.
Good call, because, it's just a mistake at that point to try to make any extra plays, really. So there we go, a free inhibitor falls down here. Talia really showing a very good job of how to create a line in the sand when you are trying to siege.
Gragas actually took a substantial amount of damage there. I'm quite surprised myself at how much he was able to take from her before getting to decently low health.
Indeed.
So he can actually tank.
They're going to go for the reset here, going to try to continue what they did at the top side at the bot side, and this could be the way the game crumbles, as it looks like the great timing, the great coordination, the great CC has been able to be thwarted by superior skill, great timing, and heck, great coordination.
Now, they can even try and go in on this Talia, but they still have to burn a good chunk of their abilities to try and... Wow. Alistar with the engage.
Looks like the situation seems to be slowing down for a little bit for their opponents. as it looks like Alistar grabs himself another kill here. That should just about end the situation, I'd say, as it looks like they're going to go ahead and grab themselves the last tower, the last inhibitor, and then go for the win here.
Unless we're going to see
No, never mind. Alistar is going to continue to go for the inhibitor while the rest of the team is going to go for the win.
Waiting to see Sivir's 1v5 solo defense.
Indeed. Tower finally comes down here. The Nexus is about to get popped here, and I really am very happy about the performance here from D-k9. They really looked like they could have lost this game if circumstances were different. But for their sakes, they managed to make it look clean. They managed to make it look good. Great job out of their part.
That was a very clean game by D-k9. All their lanes won. They had jungle pressure in the places where they needed it to make sure that they were able to snowball. There's a couple little skirmishes where it looked a little bit messy, and you saw that around Dragon Pit, and we also saw that of top lane when Trundle and Ari were able to pick up a kill on Fiora. But after that, they realized their mistakes, cleaned it up, and then got through that game with no more than 4 deaths, and Freddy actually not dying a single time.
Yep, and that was the only not death on their team. Everybody else died once. Freddy didn't. And Freddy really just kind of really opened up my mind on how you can really take advantage of Thalia, making a line in the sand, really just like making it easier for your team to help make a good catch and play. Just really smart playing from Freddy. That's really, you know, when you see a plat player make that kind of plat move, very awesome job. They did, on the opposing side, Katarina Wine Mixers really did try to get that Sivir into the right position here, but it just didn't seem to pan out. I'd like to see what the next game has in store for their situation here, as Crystal needs to hopefully get a situation where he can really get exactly what he's looking for. MVP, my personal MVP of this situation is going to have to be Freddy from that wall. I don't exactly see that too often by Kallistas in general. But to see it coordinatedly used well and be able to make these catches and plays, I think might be able to make the very clean, coordinated team look even more cleaner. And I think that's why Freddy does get the MVP, in my opinion, for this first game. What do you think?
And again, I do agree with you. And again, I want to talk about what Freddy actually took a little unorthodox move, but it was very smart on his part. He had such an astronomical gold lead. When he got that first back, he had rushed the Merc Treads and picked up a Dark Seal. And it was basically just saying to Ari, you can't kill me now, so you're definitely not going to be able to kill me when I come back.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of this, really interesting. It looks like the Callista and Talia both nearly tied for damage by a mere 24 damage difference between the two of them. 24 out of 15,000. That's crazy. That's crazy close.
And Callista did just barely pass Talia in gold by about 1,000 as well.
Interesting. Priorities and whatever. Looks like we'll take a look at the warding coverage here. Really, you can tell the difference in the ward situation between both teams here. One was clearing out wards more often. The other was not. The Alistar placed down 23 wards in this game. Pretty good performance out of the 24 minutes. He almost had a ward per minute. That's pretty good. That's unfortunate for the other team. They did not manage to get as many wards. Gragas did a really good job on the warding department, though. Only barely losing in wards to the enemy Sejuani. But I also like the improvement coming out of Joker, who had in the past not really warded nearly as much, is now warding quite more often, and I really like it. Very much drastically improved in some categories. We take a look at who had the most minions killed here. Talia did manage to get more minions killed despite losing in damage by a slim margin, and as you said earlier, did end up not getting as much money as the Callista. Anyway, so that will conclude game 1 here. Let's go on to game 2 as we get ourselves prepared and ready. Thank you for getting the lobby already set up for me, so I don't have to do it. So, a little bit of background story. You did earlier explain to me about the situation that is going on with your throat this morning. You said something very off happened about it. and
Yeah.
I've been like being the play-by-play guy for this first game here. So I was only going to bring it up to say that I hope your throat is not in any issue or any pain or anything like that, and I hope you're going to be okay.
Thank you. I do appreciate the concern. I'm getting through this game. I think I did. I was good that last game, so I should be good for this one too.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, we kick the music back on, ladies and gentlemen. Here, like that, we got ourselves 11 viewers. Probably because some of the team is watching this game. I don't think everybody is. I mean, I see MJ here. I like Jose here. Pedro dropped a message. Everybody dropped a message so far, but I haven't seen Joker drop anything or anybody else. But hey, it is you can be around and help support the group by giving us some good views so we can get some audience members. And sometimes you just gotta stay focused, be on priority, make things happen, and be a good job. And do a good job. MJ, glad you're still with us, man. Gonna continue to try to impress my son over here. Apparently I'm daddy, according to MJ.
Oh, that's an upgrade.
Alright, I'm happy about that. Alright, we get ourselves ready for the next game here. Let you all be aware that at 9 p.m. tonight, there's going to be another game here. It is going to be... let me take a look at the scheduling situation here. Oh, okay. I just read your message from earlier, by the way, Bunny.
Okay.
Yeah, my fault. My fault for just jumping to conclusions. But hey, I think I made the right call.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, good call on my part. From assumptions here. Anyway, so back on track here. The scheduling situation, I should probably finish my sentence, is going to be 9 p.m. It's going to be Beta Red versus Cryo Esports. Followed by the 11 p.m. tonight, it's going to be Cetra Gaming versus Tread. I haven't even met Tread. I've seen Cetra. I haven't seen Tread. I haven't even seen Beta Red or Cryo Esports either. Oh, sorry.
I don't think we've seen them. No, we haven't seen them, actually. I have seen a scrim with Cryo. But other than that, we haven't seen them play in a competitive environment like a tournament game yet. So this is going to be a first for both of them.
Okay, thank you very much. Meanwhile, I will be right back momentarily to get myself some refills, bathroom breaks, so on and so forth. Water just kind of shoots right through me at times, so I'm going to go ahead and grab myself everything I need. Okay, guys, be right back. Hope you guys don't miss me too much. You got yourself a nice little bunny over here, and he's a good guy. Looks like Lord asked a question into the chat lobby. He said, can you link the recording of the game so I can go back and watch my game? In fact, yes, you can do so. It's as simple as just rewatching the Twitch video. Heck, you can even make it into a link if you wanted to.
That, and we are actually uploading all VODs to our YouTube channel. for easy access.
Oh, yes. But anyway, here you go. I just gotta answer this one text message, then we can go right back to it. Sorry for the quietness in the chat here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can increase our viewer count maybe a little bit here. Just to let you know.
I am about to actually put out an announcement as this game is about to commence.
Indeed. 40. Yeah, I should probably say 40. I shouldn't say 10 minutes and it should be done. It will be a VOD and also it will go up on the YouTube channel. You never go at the moment. I don't know what that means.
I do know what you mean.
Hey, Mango Bard! Looks like I got myself another son, apparently. And Twilighter12, nice to see you as well. To drop some follows, and meet some good people. Have Faith is looking a little bit lower in the view count than normal, but hey, I'm okay with that. I'm just glad some people are looking at me.
Gotta make sure we treat the loyal ones.
Exactly. Thank you all very much for watching so far here. Let's see what the next game has in store for us here, ladies and germs. As we get ourselves prepared for the next one here, let's go ahead and get this underway. Match has begun between both parties that they are raring and ready to go. I hope everybody is set and ready because if they're not, would not be great. But
No.
Lord's ready to get this underway. They're going to go ahead and take away the Gnar right off the top.
With the first pick, I would like to see if Katarina and Mixes are going to change up their comp in a really significant way.
So I
go. They could go. They're pretty much open to go anything at this point, now that they have that initial pick that they can grab.
Mm-hmm.
Are you certain?
LeBlanc has also still been taken off the board. They definitely don't want Freddy to be that LeBlanc. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen Freddy's LeBlanc. It's gotta be devastating if they keep taking it away.
Yeah, considering he's shown, I think that Talia would also be something worth taking away, unless they have a plan to shut that down in the mid lane with another pick.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get in there.
They're going to go ahead and allow Talia to be played here. Very interesting. Will Freddy actually commit to taking Talia?
I won't be denied.
Well, it looks like you will be denied, said Giovanni, as you are now banned. Rejected!
Yeah, I guess D-k9 doesn't want them to run a similar comp to the one that they ran last game, seeing how impressive it was. And there's Zac, which is something that I definitely saw coming as Zac is a really, really strong engaged champion, which can pretty much set up anything for anybody.
That is true. I've been actually hearing a little bit of the opposite of that lately. I've been hearing that apparently the Zacinator here, good old Zac man, the Zac boy, has been on the decline lately since a few patches coming in. Malachi has been like a little bit more on a higher pace in some cases, in some regards. I'm going to have to hear a second opinion maybe from the chat here, but I have heard that Zac is a bit on the decline lately. His damage and everything has been a little bit slowly coming down. As
they have been hitting his damage or like every patch and again, just to try and take him down a notch, because he was a monster in solo queue when he first got reworked.
Speaking of a monster, it looks like they're going to take Cho'Gath. Wow.
There's Springfield on Cho'Gath again. This is the second time we've seen Springfield on Cho'Gath, I believe.
To respond to this, it appears they're going to be taking Jarvan 4 as well. Jarvan 4 should probably be the top laner. Speaking of this, Callista is going to be replayed as well. Didn't think Callista was kind of like a hot pick for Lex, but apparently Lex really wants to play it.
And that Callista, and he definitely showed us that he can play her, going 9-1, I believe, last game.
Mm-hmm. appears that Diana seems to be the follow-up pick for Nucking, and I'm expecting that Nucking does have a plan to try to get rid of the situation here. Freddy has now also gotten his Cassiopeia. Interesting.
If I were Callista at this point, I'd be a little bit worried. Because Zac, Jarvan, and Diana, or despite being able to jump out of the Jarvan ult, there's not really much you can do if the Zac and Diana are also on top of you.
Mm-hmm.
So D-k9 is going to have to really pick some strong peel in order to make this in order to make Callista be able to survive in these situations and these dives.
I'm the same son, Dad. now my son is now claiming that I'm neglectful. Great. Another kid that wants me to pay attention to him. No, I'm
gonna keep track.
I'm just saying MG Letty just said I'm daddy, so unless your name is MG Letty and Mango Bard, I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I've got more than one kid now. I'm pretty sure. That's all I'm saying. That's all I gotta say about that. Alistar and Gragas are off the board. Meanwhile, Lucian and Karma are also away. It looks like D-k9 is really doing a very nice job at reducing the chance for Katarina wine mixers to play at their best here. They definitely don't want them to play at their best. They want to make sure they catch them off on their side picks here.
I can actually expect something along the lines of Ajana coming out on the side of D-k9. Because that would be extremely effective against their composition. Either Ajana or potentially a Thresh.
Meanwhile, Jinx seems to be the answer to this situation, while Renekton will be played by Springfield into the top spot. Wonky Art is looking for a support to be played, as it looks like they basically picked from top to bottom what they were going to play, except for Jarvan. Jarvan's actually going to switch with Zac, I would assume.
Oh, Nami and Jinx is a very scary combo, especially when she gets that Ardent Sensor. Giving her the E and also the Ardent proc makes Jinx something that needs to be dealt with, or else she will be able to do an insane amount of damage.
Amen to that.
Blitzcrank to could potentially shut down the Jinx being problematic, and even do a decent amount of peel for the Diana, Jarvan, and Zac. If he does pull the correct target, then he's actually going to be able to help Callista more than Nami will be able to help Jinx in some cases.
So meanwhile, oh great, I gotta get rid of that habit right off the bat. I've been saying it way too much. Well, in this situation, there we go. That's my favorite word. That's the combo I want to go for. 2 monsters, 3 monsters, 4 monsters, and a robot versus the hero of Demacia. Well, one of the heroes of Demacia. A blob monster. Some person who's confused at what the difference between the sun and the moon is. A crazy person and a fish are going at it and are going to be going against each other to take each other out, and it's going to be interesting. So looking right now on the cold spot from the first game here, everyone at D-k9's looking pretty hot, pretty on fire. At least so much heat is coming out of so much, I just can't tell who's actually on fire anymore. Everybody on that side is just looking absolutely toasty.
I'd say, as usual, we should keep the focus on Freddy, of course, and then Lit again. And I'm actually really interested to see how Wind Moon plays this Blitzcrank, because D-k9 has a notoriously aggressive playstyle, and a Blitzcrank, all the Blitzcrank does is perfectly supplement that.
And back onto the opposite side here, a little bit of the cold, a little bit of a coming on to the side of Katarina wine mixers here. Diana Nucking is looking a little bit on the chilled side here. Doesn't seem to be at the gameplay that he really feels comfortable with. Is going to risk it all here by trying to overpower Freddy via mechanics and via kits, as Diana is able to make some good popping. Maybe that's exactly the kind of spark he needs to just bounce himself right back into the hot streaks of this action.
So if he pulls out Infernal Diana to even more supplement that heat that he's going to be pulling up if he does manage to take this lane.
So I'm expecting some big impact gameplay, as I will expect a very greedy Blitzcrank to try to make a good grab onto Nami. Definitely expect that to happen quite a bit. Callista apparently lit is just in a Callista mood, I would say, because I would even think that maybe Ash or anybody else would even be fine in this situation, but Callista just definitely seems to be the one he wants to play. So,
and they're betting a lot by grabbing Callista against them, because those guys are all going to have either Callista or Cassiopeia in their sights. And Renekton and Cho'Gath are already going to have a hard enough time getting to Jinx just with Nami alone. So if they can kill Callista or Cassio, whichever one becomes a bigger threat, they could easily take team fights. However, on the flip side, if Callista does get the peel she needs, and Diana and Jarvan get stuck in the back like sitting ducks, then they could be in huge trouble as well. So both these team fights are swinging either side, and a lot of it depends on how quickly wine mixers can take out Callista and Cassio, and how quickly Springfield and Cho'Gath and Jokanoda can actually take out Crystallizer in the backline on their side.
And we'll be seeing that pretty soon. So, I think at this stage, one of our questions here is, how do we exactly take out, how do we bring this game to a close for D-k9? That's exactly the kind of thing D-k9 needs to do in this situation. They want to probably overrun them, quickly make a capitalization on their mistake, and probably bring this game again to an end at 26 minutes. I think that's what they want to do. I think that's how they want to close this.
And they're perfectly capable of doing that because of the sheer amount of catch potential that their team actually has. If they can pull out the key targets they need during the mid game, then there's not going to be a late game because everybody's going to be so behind. And like we've seen time and time again, D-k9 is perfectly capable of taking very clean games. And the more catch potential they have, the easier it is for them to do so.
Well, right now, I do very much like, they're a very aggressive team. They look at a problem, they see the problem, they get that problem, they kill it. And that's basically where what all their champions really are. Like, every single one of them is just, okay, there's one target, I'm going to grab him, I'm going to catch him, I'm going to kill him. And that's just their D-k9 style, clearly.
And it's been working for them as they haven't actually dropped the game, I don't think.
Oh yes, by the way, for everybody at home who's most likely curious, it is quite obvious why we are not using the overlay, but in case you guys have not heard since the last time we talked about it, the overlay we used is unfortunately unable to be used in this circumstance because of certain complaints that has been given to us. Apparently, it is too similar to other overlays that we have used in the past, and therefore we need to create our own official overlay, and that's exactly what will end up happening in the future for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Oh no, right away, Callista.
That's the D-k9 style. Rush straight at him, nice and aggressive.
Like a fisher, like an old-fashioned fisherman, just stab a stake right into that fish and take it out right before it even gets the chance to get back to the waters. My goodness, that was so quick. Didn't even give Blitzcrank the stake yet. That's how confident that Kalista was to secure that kill.
And with that being said, that's going to be some trouble for the bottom lane because Nami no longer has flash, and against Blitzcrank, she could be in huge trouble if she doesn't make sure she dodges every single hook.
Mm-hmm.
And Nami also went coin, which is going to allow her to actually play more passive, so she should be in good shape.
Agreed. Very expected, in fact. Well, right now, Joker is going to be clearing the... Oh, he's actually going to smite the blue buff. Ooh, interesting. Decides to go for the smite early. Doesn't seem to have it for the later half. Interesting. Meanwhile, Zach actually started blue.
Honestly, is where Joker's path actually takes him now that he's going to have smite a little bit earlier than Zach, assuming Zach did smite his blue buff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he probably... Actually, I think he might have smited it as well. I think the timing on both of them are kind of close. That is really peculiar, that both of them didn't even take a different type of camp. Like, I would expect, okay, well, there we go. Immediately being greedy, the double bubble trouble has actually managed to hit it back. Both of that engaging. Boy, Blitzcrank really wanted that one. Risked the flash to try to make that happen.
Blitzcrank had fully tunnel visioned on.
Oh no! Just when you think that they were going to get out of this situation, immediately they get right back into it. Nami loses tons of health, and Jinx is now on the ropes, holding herself on the ropes just to keep her into this lane.
A lot of that was possible because of the fact that Nami didn't have flash. Blitzcrank wanted to go and try and hit that Nami. As you saw, he just barely missed her by a hair. And then, because of that, he was not in a good spot either. Nami landed a nice bubble. And then he ended up seeing flashes going everywhere. Jinx had to flash away as well because she was very low. And now you're seeing Kalista's the only one with her summoners up.
Ooh, Blitzcrank tries again. Doesn't seem to hit the mark here. Zach's going to try to take advantage of the Freddy over-positioning here. They're going to try to get him. Freddy's got incredibly high movement speed, but now it's gone. They decided to no longer have the option to try to catch their Cassiopeia here. And the chance to kill Cassiopeia was missed. Unfortunate considering Fred actually had a really good engage.
Yeah, Zach got a
was forced into a good engage. Sorry.
Yeah, Zach got a very good jump. It was complete fog of war. There's no way that Freddy could have known he was coming from there. And then he just bobbed and weaved and dropped the exhaust, and he was able to escape without even having to burn his flash.
Which is really unfortunate, because that would have been a really nice kill for Nucking to have early, because his farm situation is looking very bad. As it looks like it's a 28, 29 CS at this point for Cassiopeia, versus the 7 from Diana.
Across the board, we're seeing, like, other than Zach and Jinx, we're seeing some trouble with the CS in terms of, like, mid lane and top lane. And that's going to start spelling out a real issue, because Freddy can play perfectly safe, and he just has a tendency to not die at all. And if you let him farm, and especially on somebody like Cassiopeia, he's going to become a problem no matter what, unless you forcibly force him into fights and kill him.
Mm-hmm. But if you don't do that, you're looking at a situation where you have 7 times the amount of CS. Anyway, Springfield is thinking about it, but reevaluates his options here. Or does he? He's going to get the stun to land here. The Q is definitely going to get the damage he needs. It's going to be a quick kill for Springfield.
Jarvan doesn't even get a chance to react to that because he just dies so fast. Springfield canceling as many animations as he can to do maximum damage in the quickest way possible to that Jarvan.
The zoning so far, right off the bat, the pressure, the zoning is working so heavily in the favor of D-k9 as they're really just showing them that we are the bigger dogs right now.
And now the CS gap between bot lane is getting even wider as Blitzcrank just uses that pressure he has, as you were saying, to zone Jinx off of a majority of the CS that she has. Blitzcrank goes for the hook, but he misses the needle.
I was about to say meanwhile. The Nami is getting some poke back and the damage, getting it grab some coins and everything, but it's still an uphill climb because both of the bot laners here are just wasting so much mana where their opponents have so much of it. Oh, wow, that looked a little too clean as Lex made it a quick gutting of Jinx in that situation.
Not even a chance to heal.
Speaking of not even a chance, Freddy quickly subdues the Moon Princess over there and takes out Nutting.
And a big thing about what's going on top lane is we're seeing an actual 100% repeat of last game. Springfield rushing that. Oh, a bit of a dive though. A swift kill for his
The Jarvan couldn't even scream Demacia as the silence roar from Cho'Gath and the stun had made it so he couldn't even talk about what just happened to him.
I actually didn't see Cho'Gath until he had popped up underneath my scoreboard. He's really tiny still.
Oh, give it a couple minutes and we won't be saying that.
And we are seeing like a picture perfect recreation of last game in top lane because you're seeing the Renekton building the Renekton building the Hydra again, just like last time. And then we're seeing on Jarvan, we're seeing the tank that he has to go because he's behind in lane. And it's basically just like what we saw last game with Fiora and Trundle.
I don't even know what to say here. It looks like Crystal probably misread where everybody was on that one. And simply just accepted it and just stood there and let it happen. Didn't even try to make it Blitzcrank to take it.
Very unfortunate situation that this bot lane is now in because Callista's got her lifesteal item already, which means that dueling her is going to be a near impossibility until Jinx finishes her crit item. And she's about to back and get finish her probably tier 1 boots now. So she's going to be jumping problem as well.
You know, one thing I want to mention is that this Blitzcrank basically is made out of electricity, right?
Yeah, he's a robot.
So, and you have a water support, right? So shouldn't Blitzcrank be like malfunctioning or something?
Well, I'd assume like maybe something of his technological caliber. Because he is like a sentient robot, probably can handle water pretty fine.
I mean, okay, maybe he's got like a certain exoskeleton that can survive water, maybe. Maybe. I did hear in his lore when I took a look at it, one of his archives, apparently he was some sort of robot that happened to be like, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know what's about to, Joker?
Okay.
Oh, I was just about to ignore what just happened there.
Joker taking a Sunday stroll on a Saturday underneath that tower.
I like what you said there. That was pretty good. A Sunday stroll on a Saturday. It's like too perfect. Meanwhile, Nucking has realized how strong that very venomous snake is and goes down to the poisonous bane of Freddy and his very strong fangs.
This tower.
Oh, whoa! He actually hit that one. Crystal's on the ropes here. Going to immediately. Okay, Blitzcrank has been thrown back because they don't want to give a kill away to Jinx, and that's a good call, I'd say. But I feel Blitz could have possibly made one more or two more autos out of that.
I mean, Jinx is not, as much as Jinx isn't the one you want to get fed, if Callista gets another kill as well, that very much could be worth. If they don't see Zac, though.
Here we go. The Zac is unfortunately unable to make the catch here. Nami has landed the tidal wave. Could this be the turning tide of the battle? Joker is here, and he's not going to get the opportunity to get his buffs back.
Top tower looks like it's about to go down too.
Preston
Springfield does
Sky,
not
thank
even
you very much
care.
for watching here. But it looks like it's going to be a quick grab and take for the Renekton, who takes the second tower. Oh boy. Well placed, coordinated CC there. Blitzcrank was well prepared. Crystal's going to go ahead and get a kill and take the shutdown, even if it means giving a kill back to the Kalista, which does happen. The bubble off target. The electricity pumping through the hands of Blitzcrank is not going to go ahead and make the uppercut happen.
We're a good for Kalista, because even though they finally took her down, she did leave with 2 more kills. So it's always something to consider whether if going that deep for a kill on her is worth it when she's just going to get even bigger than she already is.
Seems like the same. You can same as the first for Springfield and Lord, as both of them are having a bit of a fight between each other. Neither one of them. Neither one of them is getting the situation that the. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say it that way. Here's how I should say it. Springfield is dominating the top lane like he did last time. There.
And giving him Renekton, giving him pretty much any lane dominant champion, you're going to see a similar result unless he gets camped. Because Springfield is just known as a dominant laner.
Well, it's just starting to look like a bit of a repeat in the story. But this time, instead, they're going to make sure they get what they're looking for here. Jaguar does land the CC. Is going to... Oh, no! The wave actually allowed Blitzcrank and Kalista to get into this situation. Wonka's got to make one more hit, but none of the abilities are up. And it's going to be Lit surviving with pure kite. Blitzcrank is going to help secure this. There is no TP. There is no way that Zach doesn't fall here. Blitzcrank will secure the kill instead of giving it to the Kalista.
I'm going to hand that to his ultimate. Actually, no, his ultimate passive was down.
Ooh, the silence was not long enough. The Blitzcrank ends up missing the pull as well.
I feel like that is a very unfortunate interaction bot lane. That was a bit strange, honestly. So I'm gonna chalk that up to like just being a really unlucky situation for KWM.
Yeah, agreed. Crescent Sky is a pretty intense little skirmish that happened bot side here. Didn't really work. What the heck was that?
What was that?
What did it reset? What just happened? Diana's gonna try to jump in here, but Freddy turns it right away and does so much damage. Throws it right back at him.
Freddy not hesitating for even a second. As soon as he sees the Jarvanel, he was waiting, hanging onto that flash. Second the Jarvanel drops, see him flash out, do as much damage as he can, take both of them out with that W, and they can't even jump on him because of the fact that she has that W down.
Not just that here, but they just took a big scream right to the face and just froze solid from it. Springfield is going to be caught in between the lane as he goes for the proxy. He does get the entire wave. Every single minion. Good job at a Springfield to get some good secure. Wow.
I love that recall. Whenever I see your Renekton recall on that skin, I always laugh.
I think it's something
pulling up
like
a
that.
chair out of nowhere.
I think that's like the lifeguard stand, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I think that's how you call it. I like that too. It's good. Late game does not look like it's going to favor for their team here. It's a really rough situation for Katarina Wine Mixers, as they're just unable to get what they're looking for out of these fights. No matter what happens, it just seems to swing right back into the favor of D-k9. No matter what, it's really hard to deal with. And Kalista just seems to be able to be everything that they need. But their condition to win is still possible, despite how unlikely it is. It's still possible because Jinx is still doing a really good job so far. The Q actually tickles the back of Renekton, but doesn't allow any CC to happen.
And they're running into a similar problem that they ran into last game, where Kalista's gigantic, and the lanes that needed to get fed to stop her are not as ahead as they need to be.
Jaguar, I think, realized how horrible situation was. It's going to be the lightning strike from the gods that actually take out Zach. Oh my goodness! The lightning strike from can Lamar get out of this? No, in fact he can't. And it's going to be engaged at the bot side as well. The tower is going to go down real quick and real fast. Wow, Callista goes top side and just makes quick work of the Jarvan, who does have a pretty good escape. I'm actually kind of surprised at the outcome.
Blitzkrieg is running around to the red buff. If you get pulled, oh, just barely misses.
The tower is going to fall down, and that's going to be the first inhib tower today that has been taken at 16 minutes.
Zach trying to make something happen.
And the inhibitor will also fall pretty quickly too, unless they're going to try to... No, never mind. They're not going to try to stop that. It's going to be 17 minutes for the drop of that. But meanwhile, a big fight is breaking out right here, right now. As it looks like
that's a wasted flash.
Renekton just completely obliterates 90% of the team. But it's going to be Nami securing a kill against the monster to make this sadly an ace, but at least it's going to be them getting a kill on the trade back here. 3-22 here with a 18k lead at 17 minutes.
Yeah, it's 18k.
That's an 18k lead when 17 minutes into the game has got to be the most unbelievably one-sided affair I have ever seen. Now it is a 19k lead at 17 minutes. How does that even happen?
They just took the puzzle pieces and put them all together. Once again, every lane won. And then they even got that early game cheese that they were able to get with the Blitzcrank and the Callista. And just, again, even looking at just the individual plays that each player made, just looking at Freddy's 1v2, Litz survived when he was getting attacked by Zach. And Nami, it's just
Nucking, I think you're barking up the wrong tree. I don't think that Cassiopeia... Oh, the flash at the last second to try to hit the CC. Oh, wait a minute. Is Freddy actually going to die this time? He's on the ropes. They tried very, very hard. But the cavalry arrives in the nick of time. It's going to be a TP by Jarvan. That doesn't seem to matter because they end up eating alive the live Zach. So, never mind. Freddy will not die and will go perfect this game, as I think he probably is going to get the MVP.
In classic Freddy fashion, again, gets in a dangerous situation and makes it look like child's play. Completely evades it with even a sliver of health, but still makes it look like he knew he was fine the whole time.
Ult goes off. The inhibitor is possibly gonna crack pretty soon. The inhibitor goes down yet again here. They should probably go topside to try to take out the other one while the waves are coming in. But never mind, they're going to try to go for the win here. Jaguar gets forced, trapped onto the miasma, goes down. Diana is trying everything in her power, but with no mana, no items, and no health. I don't think that's going to happen. Blitzcrank does get the pull. Callista gets another kill to add to the collection here. Joker is just powering through the tower. Will they make the dive attempt? No, they won't. They're going to go for the end of the game here. Congratulations to D-k9 for winning the series and winning the first weekend game of Have Faith Esports. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to D-k9, and I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Freddy is probably one of the most fun players that I've watched so far.
It makes everything look so interesting, yeah.
There's always something. He's always got something up his sleeve. Like he's even if you see him just hanging out mid lane, you know the wheels are turning and he's thinking of something. He's gonna pull something.
Indeed. Really great performance out of them. Really good way to bring a close to the game here. I think they don't want to make it 26 minutes. My fault. They wanted to make it 19 minutes. As they did close the game out before they even had a chance to surrender. And I hate it when that kind of game happens, to me.
Yeah, it was very quick. Like, there wasn't really much of an opportunity for the wine mixers to turn it around after D-k9 had hit, like, a point where they were so ahead that, for example, both Callista and Cassiopeia could 1v2.
Indeed. Ooh, interesting. We're seeing some interesting info going in between a couple of people here. A couple of rumors saying Kessler is better than Freddy, quote unquote, by
Uh-oh.
Harmon Jose, I would say is his name. I don't know. Maybe it's Joe's. Not entirely sure how to pronounce that name correctly. He'll have to correct me later. But Crescent Sky says, GG guys, and great casting tonight. So, thank you, man. Really appreciate the
very
comment. Let's go ahead and take a look at the war coverage here. 13, a little less than average, but how can you possibly ward when you've got plays to make, when you're Blitzcrank, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, on the opposite side here, not even breaking the 10 ward mark at the 19-minute mark for their team. Probably one of the big reasons why they were able to be so gap closed on and everything. They didn't have a way to see the enemy coming. They just consistently ran into the enemy trying to get the upper hand. And certain events came around and certain situations came a certain way. And in the end, it is what it is. But a victory is now into the favor of D-k9.
Absolutely.
And we got to pick ourselves a series MVP, don't we?
And I think we are all in accord in agreement when we could say that Freddy has easily earned today's MVP.
We want to also admit that he's basically stealing this from Lit at this point, because Lit is also doing an insanely good job that is worthy as well of an MVP, because he proved something that I didn't think a Callista could do, and that's dominate.
Absolutely.
Dominate. And that's really, really good out of Lit. This is a blatant steal, but we're going to go and reignite everybody real quick. Joker, Freddy, and Lit are all on fire, and Moonwind Film has also joined into that category. It looks like the entire team is just about all ignited well, and just looks like the hot team coming in and leaving the beginning of the weekend.
And as much as poor Springfield hangs out in the top lane, and I gotta give him credit for this.
Oh, absolutely.
He basically has dominated like a good chunk of the lanes he's been in, despite getting next to no attention to him. Joker has been top, and the thing is, he doesn't waste the time that Joker spends top.
Thank you very.
Even if he's not top, he's able to get these solo kills by himself.
Thank you very much, Harmon, for trying to clarify when the next game is. It is supposed to be at 9 p.m., but thank you very much for trying to clarify the situation. It's going to be Beta Red versus Cryo Esports. Thank you very much for trying to clarify. Really appreciate that for MJ, who's very curious. Thank you as well for all the comments and all the great questioning. But we have ourselves an MVP to do, and apparently, according to what I heard from Joker, there will be no victory song selected for this individual. So please, as soon as we can get Freddy into the general lobby, that way we'll know he's ready, and that way we can get everything set and ready to go for this interview. Anyway, very good job. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and commenting. You guys made this very small stream very active, so I really appreciate that. The quality of your guys's the quality of Have Faith Esports is really improving, and it's showing, and that's what matters the most.
Absolutely.
So we're waiting right now for Freddy is aroused to see if he is ready to play the MVP card yet again. Last time I gave him MVP, I believe, was at Monday, or when did we do that? When we do that?
That was Sunday, I believe. It was the show match.
Okay, Sunday.
And D-k9.
Full ready. Really appreciate that, man. Very much. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that you love the both of us equally.
Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, again, couldn't have done this without Bunny. I'm glad he made it for this one. I hope he is going to be okay. He did say his throat was not feeling well today, so I hope you're going to be all right.
Yes, I am going to rest up, and I'll be ready to cast a very interesting game tomorrow, which I believe is actually Have Faith Academy versus D-k9, if I'm correct. Yes, it is. It is going to be Half Faith Academy versus D-k9 at 9 p.m. tomorrow, which is another game to watch out for, because that's going to be a very good one.
Mm-hmm. Damn, this caster loves D-k9. Oh no! Biased caster.
Is this like the TSM Jat situation?
Probably. I wonder if Freddy's gonna show up. I'm actually still wondering. Maybe he's still busy or had to get up or something.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe drop into D-k9, see if they what's going on with that.
Allow me to be honest real quickly.
Alright. Well, anyway, meanwhile, we're waiting for him here. Bunny is Army's son. Thank you, MJ. Really appreciate that. I don't know if that's really the case, though, because he's kind of his own bird. He kind of flocks. He kind of just flies wherever he wants to. I have no say or control of that. What's up?
I have gone and I have checked, and I congratulated them on their win, but Freddy would not like to be interviewed at this time.
He does not seem to be able to be interviewed, or just does not want to?
He does not want to.
Ah, okay. Well, then I guess, fair enough. I guess we'll humor their situation, and we will go ahead and bring ourselves to a closer. Kind of surprising, but hey, some people, they're just not in the mood to do it. They just don't need to do it. Simple stuff.
It's all a choice.
Exactly. So, let's go ahead and bring this to a closer then. My name is Army Overlord.
And I've been Bunny.
And thank you very much for watching, guys. You guys made this really, really good. I really very much appreciate it that you guys put your effort and time into watching this. And I hope we were very good, or at least as good as we can possibly be, to make you guys have the right amount of quality that you need to have the exact enjoyment that you want. Wait, hold on. There's a lot of boos. Wait, what?
No.
MJ? What you booing for, man? Wait a second.
It's not his fault. He's just shy, guys. It's not a big deal.
Oh, don't go. Oh, okay. They just don't want me to leave.
Okay.
I am going to be casting the next match, by the way. I am going to continue my streak because I'm going to not only do it the next match, but I'm also planning on doing the 11 p.m. one as well. It's going to be a very interesting one.
Absolutely.
We'll see what we come around to it eventually. But yeah, I'm sorry, MJ. Some people, they just don't want to do an interview. You can't force anybody to do an interview. So, oh my goodness, Harmon. They're getting really aggressive with
they
their
got
love.
some fans there.
Very much. Hey, man, I hope you guys are going to come around for the very next one. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys really enjoyed it. I'll see you guys at 9 p.m. I believe I'm with Rich Pritch, yes?
Yep.
Okay, then I will be with Rich Pritch. See you guys at 9 p.m. Thank you very much, Bunny, for everything. So
No problem.
long, everybody.
Thank you.
So long.